Hi, welcome to Atheist Encounter Podcast. Do you want to know about atheists and their encounters? Then you're in the right place. Alright, so stay tuned as we are about to embark on a journey with another atheist. Hi, welcome to Atheist Encounter Podcast. My name is Farbest and I'm the host. Alright, so today we have a guest on our show, and before I introduce our guest, I would like to introduce our co-host for today. And the co-host for today is in the person of Mr. Chidozie. He's not a first timer on the show. He's been here from day one. So, Mr. Chidozie, can you say hi to our listeners?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Fabes. It's good to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, we sincerely appreciate you for coming on the podcast today. And our guest for today is, I will let you introduce yourself. Go on.
Good evening. My name is Chimnedum, Aham Africa, and I'm happy to be here to be your guest for today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that introduction. All right. And we are just going to go ahead straight to the podcast proper. Okay. Can you tell us about your religious life, how it was when you were religious?
Actually, I was born into a very strong religious home. I was born into a Catholic home. So, my mother is a very devoted Christian. Likewise, my dad. But at little age, around that kind 6 or 7 like that, I begin to understand that some stuffs about this religion of a thing are not just making any sense. So when you try to ask stuff, there are some questions you try to ask. They'll tell you that these questions are mystery. They cannot be answered. And I was like, wow. So there are critical questions when you ask, they say it's mystery. But as a child, I have to abide by it because you have to do everything to please your parents. So I joined the altar boys, but I lost passion in it, but I keep doing it just to keep in peace with everybody in the family. But at a point in time, I felt that it's high time I stepped out from that shadow and let them accept me for who I am.
All right, thank you so much for that. So can you tell us what actually prompted your exit from religion to being irreligious?
Well, for me, I felt it's self-awareness, because I wouldn't say that I listened to any sermon from anybody. I wouldn't say that I read any book. No, I watched any movie. But just like that, some things just keep popping on my head. But even when I try to fight it, that stuffs like this are not supposed, they are seen, but they keep on popping out, and sometimes you have to work hard to get the answers you need. And when you try to get the answers, they begin to tell you it's a mystery. So that's just one thing about it.
You were not satisfied with the answers that religion gave, so that prompted your exit from religion. All right, so thank you so much for that response. When you dropped religion, what was your family's reaction? How did they react to that aspect?
Well, when I left religion, everybody thought it was a joke, but in as much to that, my mother doesn't like it. She doesn't feel quite happy. So in my family, my brothers and my sisters, they felt I was joking until they've seen how far I've gone, and I didn't have any problems with them. We kept the brotherhood and the sisterhood flowing together. So it was only my mom, because I know she's a very good Christian. So it's gonna take time for her to adopt. Even till death, we still have some little, but there is no any challenge from anybody because I choose to be irreligious. They understand that it's my choice and it's cool. That's how we roll.
You've not received like an outright maybe stigmatization from families. So what about maybe your colleagues at work or friends? Has anyone ostracized you?
Yes. There are some couple of friends who felt the best thing is to stay off from me, but sometimes there are some people who understand what I do and questions begin to pop to their head and they begin to think I'm beginning to have that mindset because they've never had such mindset. So some of my friends left, some even have to drop me for social media, but I understand it's what they want. But those who understand, a lot of them see reasons, but they are just scared. Religion is all about scared, putting people to fear. So they are scared, but deep inside them, they know what I'm saying is the truth. So some of my friends actually picked offense while some still stay. It's just like barrack, soldier go, soldier come. Thank you.
Okay, seeing the effect of child indoctrination into religion, do you feel we should abolish child indoctrination? What's your response to that?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Fabes. The thing here is that child indoctrination is the worst crime because it's the rob of future, rob of knowledge of self, rob of whom the person is supposed to be in the reality by giving him fake identity that just suits people's desire. But it's very unfortunate, even those who practice it doesn't know that the people who decide to bring up religion are those who wanted control, power, divide, and so on. But in actual sense, indoctrination is the worst form of thing parents pass to their children. But very funny that most people in Africa don't know that. Thank you. It's very, very bad, Mr. Fabres. It's very, very, very bad. In the sense that changing the person's identity to life.
Mr. Ram, what are your thoughts on the role of religion in the society? From your own introspection and view, what do you think religion has contributed to the society?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Actually, religion has done more harm than good to the society because religion has disconnected people from their original self. Religion has disunited people. Religion is division. Religion is war. The wars that have been fought and the people that have been involved in the death of war that is being caused by religion. Religion is rob of humanity. And the most important thing people don't understand that religion is creation of man. Man created religion to control man.
All right, thank you so much for that response. Actually, I would like us to continue in the same line, that's in the same question. When you say religion is evil, do you think religion can be used for something positive in the society?
For me, I doesn't see that because morality doesn't come from religion. Those practicing it are only trying to formalize it. That means you trying to hide your real identity, your real character, and your real nature of yourself, trying to please an imaginary being. So in the real sense, they say religion brings unity. Religion does not bring unity. So that is to tell you that it doesn't have any functions in the society. So I don't feel that there is anything important religion can relate to. Because putting people together doesn't require religion. If you put all the atheists today, you don't need religion to put them together because they don't have any. If it is for what that will succeed the society, they know deep within them, they know they will be there for the gathering, but they don't have religion. So I don't think it's when this sure, I don't know, but others may have their own view, but for me, I don't feel so. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Han, for that response. Let me take on the toga of morality. Do you believe in morality and ethics? And if so, where do you derive them from?
Well, morality, morals, all those are man innovation. Nature knows no good, nature knows no evil, nature knows no moral, nature knows no good, no bad intention. So actually, it depends on the confine of where man finds himself, and then the laws that people decided to collectively agree together. And just because they agreed to it doesn't mean it is right, because it was not everybody's opinion that was listened before putting on the law. So anything we found there that we know is what the society decide that this is their moral standard, we adjust to it. That's it. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, that's very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Now, additionally, how do you find meaning and purpose in life without believing God?
There is no God. There is no devil anywhere responsible for anything. The only thing responsible for everything is yourself, man. So I am the God of myself. It is in my duty. I have the power. It is within me. Let me search deep within me and find the right way to connect with it. And I explore it. Before anything can be possible, you must first of all believe in yourself. You must first of all acknowledge yourself. That means you're acknowledging the God in yourself. So that's how life works for me.
All right, thank you so much for your response to that question. Now, what's your perspective about traditional religion? Do you think it's okay for an atheist to revert to being a traditionalist?
Well, that is very, very important question. Traditionalists, it's traditional people. So the black man must originate with his culture. Anything that man calls today culture doesn't come from anywhere. It comes from man itself. So when an African decides to go back to his culture, to his roots, all those things were initiated by humans. So doesn't mean that because they originated, they started, this is the right way it is being done. No. But we the black people say we go back to our roots because we want to appreciate what they set or they start for us. But that doesn't mean that is the right way and that is the only true way. No. So if an atheist is going back to his traditional rule, I just felt he just want to enjoy the processes and the culture of where he's coming from. And because he's doing it doesn't mean he's on the right track. No, it's not it. We cry for religious people today because they abandoned their own ways of worship and now practicing what the white man felt is his own lineage of life, then making a black man to abandon his own. So anybody going back to traditional is just trying to, let me revisit what people before us kept and what they started. And because they started, it doesn't mean it's true. So that's it, Mr. Fabes.
I think I share the same perspective with you. And I would like to get your perspective on this as well. What do you think about juju, African juju? Do you think it works in any way?
That's very, very good. This life is just one thing. It's just like once you bring a tube and you add oxygen to the tube, you can enter and flow on top of water. It's not juju. It happens because people know. So everything that the black man practices today is not juju. He does it because he knows the formula of how things are done. The white man is producing phone today is not juju. It's because he knows the formula of how to produce phone. What the black man does, he knows the formula. When you go to my village now, there is a leaf that when they plug it and rub it in your hand, you will go and carry fire. Fire will not burn you for like some seconds, like 30 to 40 seconds. Fire will be on your hands. It's not juju. It's because they know the formula. So the African juju is just once you know how things work with nature. Once you know that when you mix this and this is going to be this, you know it. It's not juju. It's something that you already know. So you know the formula and that's why you mix it. That's why it's working. So anything the black man or the African man do as a traditionalist today is not G. It's just because he knows the forces. He knows that this and this and this can give the reaction of this. So that is why he's doing it. Yeah. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that response. I do think so too. Somehow our perspective aligns a lot. Proceeding, let's see. There are some times when you are arguing, or maybe in a family-friendly discussion with your colleagues or your friends and families, they tend to come up with a question like this. What if you die and you're... Okay, let me put it this way. When they ask you a question like this, what if you die and you discover that there is a God? What will you do?
It is very simple. Being an atheist doesn't mean you are a bad person. It is just the colonization of the religious people that made our fellow people feel that because you don't believe in that same God they believe in, you are a bad person. Once you are not religion, that means you've stepped out of the box. You are not doing it because somebody said it. You have been good because you felt deep within you it is naturally to be good. You are not doing it because you want to please anybody. You're not doing it because somebody said you should do it. You're only being good because you know it is good to be good. So being who we are is the most paramount thing. We don't do good because we want to please God. So anybody that felt that because you don't believe in his own God, that makes you a bad person is a lie. So if they say if heaven will be at last, why won't you make heaven?
All right, thank you for that beautiful response. If you were given the opportunity to superhead the affairs of this beautiful country, Nigeria, multi-religious country, Nigeria, what will you do with religion?
It's going to hurt a lot of people, but for the betterment of the people and for the betterment of the society, I will eradicate religion. I know it's going to hurt a lot of people, but I will remove religion. But in a very few moments, in a very few time, people will understand that religion and bet and gambling office are just the same thing. They just give hope to the hopeless, knowing that nothing is going to come out of it. So, but when people begin to realize to entrust themselves with their responsibility of, it is my responsibility to create my own world, not the responsibility of any being anywhere to create the kind of world I want. Whatsoever I want, I work for it. So in no time, people will understand that I've done more good to them. That is why today in Africa, where the blacks has abundance of land, the blacks are crying for shortage of food. So I will eradicate religion for people to understand that it is your responsibility to be a better person. It is your responsibility to use your brain. It is your responsibility to know within you that this you're doing is good and this you're doing is bad. Let it not be you're doing it because somebody somewhere sat and drafted it and felt like this and this and this should be good. Do it, be good because you know it is good to be good deep within your conscience. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for your response to that question. My question is going to go in line with what you just finished responding to. Now, do you think religion holds back the progress of humanity?
Yes, I think so. Because religion is the reason why Africa is what it is today. Because I see no reason why somebody will be telling people that it is Satan that is causing what is happening in Nigeria, while people are saying that bad governance is the problem of this country. But somebody somewhere is telling you that there is a being somewhere. I once asked, after every night, millions of people have prayed to go and sleep. Tomorrow they will still pray over that same devil. Who they go lose them for the morning? So all these things are just illusions. They are illusions. They are not real. People have to understand that it is not good for them and it will never be good for them because it sells hope to the hopeless, to feed on the knowledge of the hopeless. There is nothing good coming out from any religion. I'm not saying it because I am an atheist. I am saying it because religion creates barriers, and I'm saying it because religion creates division. Religion of any kind create division. If you leave this planet Earth today, let it be only Christian. There will still be peace in the war because the Catholic, the Pentecostal, the Orthodox will be fighting against themselves. Have you ever imagined or asked yourself, why do people know that you are still a Christian, you have your own church, but they still want to come and sell to you? Come to our church, come and testify the good. Does it mean in your own church there is no good? There is no God? So all these things are a good example for people to understand that religion has no moral standard in the society. Thank you.
Okay. From what you just said, I can see your point clearly. All right. What do you think about the separation of religion from governance? Do you think it's a good idea to separate religion from government?
Religion is the tool that the government use to keep the masses enslaved. That's why governance and religion cannot be separated. They cannot. Without religion, we would have been having a united revolution in Nigeria. But with the presence of religion, no matter how bad a Christian is on the throne, a Christian will always say it is a Christian, so it's far better is a Christian. And no matter how bad a Muslim is, a Muslim will still tell you he's a Muslim. That is why, so let us leave him as a Muslim. So you see how it creates division among people. You see how it creates disunity among people. So separation of religion from governance is not possible because government knows without religion they cannot thrive. So religion is what government use to manipulate. That's why God is government of the day. People run and migrate from Africa to Europe or other places, not because those places are better than Africa, but because their government have laid good rules. Religion and politics are 5 and 6, inseparable. When you separate them, then people will regain their senses because religion sells it to them. Don't worry, God will take care of it. God, don't worry. For how many years? But when you riot, when you come together in one voice and discredit the government, so religion destabilized people. Religion stopped united revolution in Africa. Remove religion now and see how Africa will be great. Thank you.
Mr. Aham, do you believe in afterlife, reincarnation? There are insinuations where people have this mindset that people die and reincarnate. So do you believe in that assertions, or is it as usual? man invention?
Yeah, my stake to that is just because few people feel that reincarnation actually exists doesn't mean it truly exists. It's their own thoughts. And just because it's been their own thoughts doesn't mean it's real. So reincarnation, man is an energy. Energy is not created, energy is not destroyed. For me, I felt there is a possibility that human may exist as human today. In the next life, if at all there is, he may be existing as an animal, either plant, either another species or another form of energy that life is still involved in it. So reincarnation of human is still superstitious talk that some set of men decide to put together. That's my own stake to that.
All right. Thank you so much for your response to that question. What's your opinion about, people who promote the idea of creationism and people who promote the idea of evolution? What's your take about these two aspects, creationism and evolution?
Well, that's very good. The tail end of Christianity is trying to explain how the world came to existence, and the science is equally trying to prove how man come to existence. But in the reality is nobody can tell you how the first life emanates. Nobody. But after series of checks, you will just see that creation story is far left behind more than evolution theory, because evolution theory has a linkage. It shows that yes, truly there is some connection between this and this, that life started from water, from the microscopic organisms to the aquatic organism, from the aquatic organism to amphibians. Amphibians are aquatic organisms, are animals that lives on water, and then amphibians, they can live both on water, on land. So you see there is a linkage between if you say life started from water, and then from water there were animals that were only basically on water, and at the point in time the evolution took place, they can now both survive on water and on land. You see there is a link. So it's not that science is the original explanation, but putting it together, it makes more sense than saying on the first day God created heaven and earth, on the second day God created this and this, on the third day God created the moon and the stars, and they said let there be light. How did you know it was the first day? How did you know we are in the second day without the sun and the moon, without day and the night? How will you know that today is day one? So how does it look like when you said they mold a man out of dust, and then they breathe on him, and then they cause the man to sleep, and they remove ribs from the man to create the woman? It doesn't make sense. So nobody can be sure where the first life began. So all those things are just trying to explain, but the evolution theory makes more sense than the creationist theory. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that detailed explanation. From what you've seen so far, where do you see religion in the next 50 to 100 years?
You know, religion is on the average of collapsing, more especially Christians. And the way the religion is collapsing is those that have culture to fall back. That is why you see mostly the Igbos people are the most awoken people who are trying to divert into their own religion, into their own culture, So those people without culture, because I said culture is the way of life of people. So those that have been ripped of their culture, if they leave religion, they don't even know where they are falling back to. But as it's still, religion is collapsing. That's why people like Abel Damina are coming out. Though Abel Damina is trying to let it how it is. But you see him putting the concept of Jesus and all these stuffs, which we all know that Jesus is an allegory that does not exist. So he's trying, actually. He's doing a very great job. I commend him to that. But still, on the quest that God exists is where we have in different types of energy, because there is no way that you can tell me that God exists because you don't know.
From your response to the previous question, it shows that you feel religion is already on its way out. Okay, so what about atheism? Do you think atheism is actually growing in Nigeria, that's in Africa actually? Do you feel it's growing in Africa?
In the next very few years, I can assure you that religion will be a thing of the past. It may not happen while we are still here, but in time to come, mark my words, let history have it, let the studio have it. Goes by, religion will be a thing of the past, because a lot of people will grow up to understand that Christianity is lie, Islam is a lie, and any other religion are just man invention. That's it. Thank you.
All right, so this is my last question on the show for today. Now, let's say, for instance, a God appears. What do you have in mind to tell this God?
I will tell him he has failed. He has failed mankind. He couldn't represent mankind. So if God should appear today, I will tell him, Oga, you failed. You failed mankind. Thank you.
The way you said it is actually funny. You said, Oga, you failed. As in, would you give him some respect, like, my God, you failed? You just say, Oga, you failed. Now, wow.
No, now, you know, now, Niger slangs now. Now, Niger every day. When Niger tell you, say, Oga, means say the respect don't finish.
All right, Mr. Chimnedum and Ham Africa, we sincerely appreciate you for coming to our podcast and sharing a lot of your personal life and also your perspectives on different issues ranging from juju, politics, and the rest. We sincerely appreciate you. Mr. Chidozie, do you have one final word to say to Mr. Aham Africa?
Well, the final word I have for Mr. Africa is, Mr. Africa, how do you, if you're given an opportunity, how do you want us to amplify this gospel of redemption to the public?
I guess this step that we have taken, we should keep it up. We should keep doing it at all costs. And we all know that we are only trying to liberate our people to come to the awakeness of consciousness. And we all know that what we are doing is good for them. We are not doing it because we hate them. We are doing it because we know you can never be disconnected from your root. Once you are disconnected from your root, you've become a lost person. That's why it's going to give us a little bit tough time. Because the next time you default from it, you're supposed to embrace and embark and be proud of your own ways, your own culture. Even though that you're doing your own culture doesn't mean you're right, but this is what gives you identity to who you are. So it is our responsibility to use by all means to keep doing this again and again. And I will be ready anytime. We will reach and we will preach until it reaches the crowns of every part of the world. That is why we came. We came so that our people will be liberated from mental slavery. We came so that our people will be redeemed of shackled slavery and mental slavery. That is why we are here. And I believe and I know, together with people like us, we know we are not doing bad to the society. We know we are not harming anybody. We are only trying to create waves and get people acquainted with their natural selves. Together we shall achieve. Thank you.
All right. We sincerely appreciate you for that recommendation to our podcast. Okay. I think we're just going to call it off right now. We're going to say our goodbyes and end the show.
Yes. Okay, fine. Thank you so much, Mr. Aham, for being with us. We sincerely thank you for creating time to attend our podcast, and we do hope we'll have you in the nearest future. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great night.
Alright, so after listening to that, what do you have to say? Drop us a comment in the comment section below. You can as well follow us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify. Alright, so thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.